Another example, social political rights, social security services, preventing discrimination, protection against all forms of violence, and women's empowerment. Egypt was the world's first country to issue a policy paper on Egypt's rapid response to women's situation during the COVID-19 outbreak, which explained the condition of women and helped shape the national response to the pandemic. Moreover, the program provides them multiple opportunities to integrate for the socio-economic benefits in different sectors, including digitalization and information and communication technology. Each governmental policy is based on supporting women and finding the best possible way to tackle their issues. Women's economic empowerment is one of Egypt's top national priorities, in line with the National Strategy for the Empowerment of Egyptian Women 2030. It is backed by a genuine political will of the government, which sincerely believes that empowering women means empowering the whole community. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As we mentioned earlier, we'll be talking about women's empowerment here in Egypt, the state's efforts in this regard, and what is needed from women and the civil society as well in order to achieve more. We're very much honored and delighted to have with us here in the studio Dr. Amani Houla, physician and head of an NGO. Thank you very much, Dr. Amani, for coming today. Always a pleasure having you with us.
Thank you.
Now, Dr. Amani, how do you see the recent steps taken by women when it comes to women's empowerment in all fields?
Actually, we can mention first the great steps have been taken by the regimen, by the legalizing some articles we needed badly to be legalized and to be fixed after decades of ignoring the women rights in Egypt. So we are on the right track actually to achieve more steps we need badly for the women roles, because actually if we can look at starting from the history even to the surrounding civilizations, we will discover there is never be a great civilization without a good role of women in the society.
Yes.
But this is very important and very essential part of the development of any country.
Okay, since we're talking about the role of women in any country's development, how do you see this role played here in Egypt? How do you see women's role here in Egypt?
From the very early stages of history, women have a great role in developing and the success of the civilization. We passed through dark decades actually for some times, and starting to have religious misunderstanding to put the woman as a decapitated partner and ignore her role, which affects actually the total result of the development. But nowadays, the women start to put her foothold again and to gain foothold actually on the development process, and we are recognizing more fields like even flying field, aviation field. Actually, we have now
judicial field as well.
Yeah, of course, a lot of new fields start to be invaded by women. So we can feel the wheel of the development starting to be much more strong.
Okay, if we're talking about volunteering and the role of the civil society in this regard, how do you see women's role when it comes to charity work and societal activities?
actually they have the upper hand in most of these the fields of the social activities, especially because the women have the more passionate feelings and they are more emotional. They actually do it.
They are givers by nature.
Yeah, so they are doing great results in this field, and we can see the result of this actually efforts every now and then.
Yes, and if we're talking about the role of civil society together with the government when it comes to the development of women, especially in rural areas, how do you see that?
Of course, the governmental efforts are actually respected and well recognized, but we have the culture of people. We are suffering now from a result of ignorance and not giving enough awareness of women. But we are suffering now from actually the women themselves. They don't have self-confidence. They are even resisting taking the rights. When you are talking about rural areas, you will find women feeling they have inferior feelings. They don't trust themselves. They don't fight for their rights. But we are trying to change the culture to give them more, even by religious side. They have to understand that it's not right the way people trying to deviate us towards feeling that the woman is a second class citizen. She doesn't have the same rights like men. All the religions are talking about the physical differences to be put in consideration, but not because women are less qualified than men, but it's according to nature and physical properties of every kind. We are trying to make the people understand that and start to be participating more in the society and in the job opportunities.
Okay, and from your own point of view, how do you see the role played by women in these days when it comes to building a new country? We're having embarking on a new era of democracy and activities in all fields.
All the world, not only us, can recognize that she is, we can say, the winning horse of all the battles our country has passed through, starting from the last revolution. She had a great role, and she was affecting even in the process of الانتخابات, the elections. She has a great effect, and she starts to be moving the wheel much more stronger than before. And actually, even if concerning the working fields, sometimes people prefer girls more than men because they are more dedicated and they are more restricted to the rules.
Yes. Let's talk about the role of the National Council for Women also in enhancing the capabilities of women and providing support and job opportunities for women. How do you see that?
Of course, they are starting to do a very good job. Still, we need more efforts, especially we have to penetrate the low classes and make them understand and raise their awareness, especially to their own rules and their rights and what they are supposed to do in concerning their position in the family.
Yes. Dr. Amini, your NGO, as well as other NGOs, give special attention to girls, to young girls, since they are the future mothers and they are going to raise another generation of Egyptian citizens. So I've learned that your organization provides some training for girls, how to make things, how to use their talents, or even how to learn to do something so that they would sustain a living in the future.
Yeah, we are concentrating on the vocational training because a girl must be independent. This is a very important part of her capability to live and to be coordinating with the society. When she feels she's incapacitated and she has no independence in her life, she has to depend on somebody else, it becomes more weak and doesn't understand her rights, and even trying to play the role of a weak person just to survive.
Yes.
But we are trying to make her independent and strong and start to participate as a partner, not as a lower class person.
Yes. What is expected in the upcoming period? What do we need to do in order to further empower women in Egypt?
Education, awareness, vocational training. These are the three columns of a new beginning for the not only the women improvement, but the whole country improvement. If we are insisting on improving the education and training and give awareness, it will make a big difference for them.
Yes. I'd like to thank you very much, Dr. Ameni Houla, physician and head of an NGO. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us in this edition of Women's World. I'm Helen Hamalawi signing off for now.